welcome to your Friday Social Studies lesson. It is Friday, December 8th. Can you believe it? Didn't it feel like it was December 1st, like today? And now it's December 8th? It's like insane. All right, so it's Friday, December 8th. Just in case you forgot who I was, I'm your teacher, Miss Smith. Crazy, I know. My email is tsmith@lsoa.org and my number is 682-777-9474. Let's get this party started. Click on that, instruction tab, and it says read the passage first, then highlight the central idea in yellow and underline the supporting details in blue. So you're going to drag and drop the central idea, the highlight tab. Now, if you notice, the that central idea is a little dark. It's not letting me bring it over that much. It is a little dark, so it's not going to bring it over that much. It's going to hide. It's going to cover up the words much, but it's pretty. You get what I'm saying. You pick up what we're dropping down, right? You're going to highlight the central idea, and then you're going to underline the supporting details after you identify the central idea. All right, then. So really quickly, let me read the passage for you. The Wilderness Road was carved through Tennessee, Virginia, and Kentucky in 1775 by Daniel Boone and 30 road cutters because they worked to widen the path and build some bridges over creeks and rivers. The journey took several months. Daniel Boone shortened the trip by finding and using the Cumberland Gap. The Cumberland Gap is a passageway through the Appalachian Mountain peaks. The Wilderness Road is 132 miles long. It was also called the Boone Trace. At the end of the road, Daniel Boone built the town of Boonesboro and protected it by building a fort around it. He brought his family to live there. His Wilderness Road became the route for hundreds of thousands of settlers traveling to Kentucky, Ohio, and beyond. So once again, you're going to identify the central idea of this passage and any supporting details that will support the central idea. Moving on to the next one. Hang 1 second. All right, moving on to the next slide. So today we are learning how income and human capital are connected. Why are we doing this? We're doing this so we can create a simple budget that allocates money for spending, saving, and donating. We know we've got it if we can create a budget and make a connection between human capital and income. Are you ready? Steady? Oh, let's go. All right, we have some vocabulary words that we need to go through. The first one is human capital, a collection of someone's skills and abilities. Labor, the amount of physical, mental, and social effort used to produce goods and services. Budget, a spending plan based on income and expenses. Allocate, distribute for a specific purpose. So we're just, think about when we're like creating equal groups. With a division problem, like we're doing we're dividing up the dividend, we're allocating those numbers, that number into equal groups. That's what allocate means. You're distributing for a specific purpose. And finally, donating, to give for a good cause. So we all know someone who has a job. There are a lot of jobs to choose from. Think about it. Who do you know that has a job? What do they do? I have a job. I'm a teacher. Now, as much as I love my job, and I do, I would not, I've always wanted to be a teacher. I mean, there was a time that I did want to be a marine biologist, but then I realized, like, I don't really like being in water. So I just like dolphins. And I like the words marine biologist. So yeah, I really just want to be a teacher. Yeah, go figure. So as much as I love my job, and I do, I love my job and I love you kiddos. As much as I love that, here's the thing. I also like getting paid for what I do. Now, are there times that I go volunteer my time to help people? Absolutely. My four kiddos, like when they were in elementary school and I was at home with them, I would go volunteer time up at the school to help other teachers, teacher friends of mine. I would tutor. I would work in the office, help in their classes. Why? Because I love teaching and I love working with kids. But would I do it every single day? No. So there's a difference between doing my job every single day to get a paycheck, even though I love it, and going and volunteering every single day. I still have to get paid at some point. I have to keep the lights on so I can teach you. So what are some other jobs that we know of? What do those people do? Human capital means humans working. Sometimes we call it the labor force. It means people who do work. Someday you will be a part of the labor force and you will be paid you will be paid an income. You will be paid for the work that you do. Some jobs require a specific ability, specific skills, and specific education. So think about a doctor. If you want to be a doctor, you have to go to college to get a PhD. It takes about 9 years. 9 years after you go from kindergarten to 12th grade. So kindergarten to 12th grade technically is 13 years, not 12 years, because you have to include kindergarten. So 13 years from kindergarten to 12th grade, and then you have to go to school for 9 more years. So it takes, sorry, brain hiccup, 21 years. Wait, not 21. Yeah, no, 21 years. Yeah, sorry. 21 years from kindergarten to you get your PhD to become a doctor. But then it says doctors have to have a certain skill to be a skill set to do their job. So it takes them 9 years to get all that training to get their PhD. But then, even after that, some doctors still have to go to school even longer to get another set of skills because they want to, like, not just like I want to work with kiddos in the regular doctor's office when they have a cough. Now I want to work with kiddos who have hurt their leg really bad doing a sport, who've gotten hurt really bad doing sports, or like work with kiddos who are sick with a special like sickness illness, not like going to like your regular doctor. So like the 9 years is just like a regular doctor or pediatrician that we go to. Then they even go even longer for specialty skills. So you have to really want to go. But then think about that. Think about it. Do we want to go to a doctor and say, doctor, help? And the doctor's like, yes, I know what is wrong with you. You have a cough. But then you're like, doctor, I don't have a cough. I have a big cut on my leg. That's what I'm asking for help with. It's really big. Can't you see? It's really big. Oh, I thought you had a cough. No, you want to go to someone who can help you. Not just like guessing, I think you have a cough. You want to make sure that you're going to someone who can help you. And that's why they go to school for so long. With teachers have to go to school for about 4 years, sometimes a little bit longer, depending on if they're going to be like a high school teacher or like college teacher, or they want to specialize in something extra. But about 4 years to learn the skills they need to teach. So that's 4 years after, from kindergarten to 12th grade. That's 13 years. And then 4 years after that. But it's worth it. You guys are worth it, I'm telling you. Some jobs do not require um, someone to go to school, like to college, but you still have to have a certain skill set. Think about a truck driver. That truck driver didn't just be like, wake up one morning, like, oh, I'm going to not do this job anymore. I'm going to go get one of those big trucks and drive that around for a while. No. That truck driver had to do a lot of special training before they could ever jump in that truck, because a truck driver can't just hop in the truck. They have to take some special classes and get special certification in order to ever drive one of those big trucks, because those big trucks, they put a lot of cargo, and cargo is just like all the stuff, the heavy stuff they put in those trucks. A lot of stuff in those trucks. And that stuff weighs down the truck. You don't think that affects how the truck shifts and moves on the road? It totally does. And so as the more stuff they put in that truck, it's going to affect how the driver is going to be able to handle that truck on the road. And then if it's raining, if it's snowing, there's a lot of wind, there's a lot of traffic. All of that extra cargo in the truck is going to be affected. But then think about this. The driver's used to now driving with all this cargo in the truck, and then he delivers everything. Wherever it was going, he delivers it all. And then it's not a light truck, but it's not as heavy as it was. Do you think it's going to affect how he drives? Absolutely. So the driver has to have some very specific training and specific certification to know how to handle that truck, because those trucks are really, really big. They're really, really tall, and they have to be able to handle all that in every type of weather, every type of terrain, mountainous terrains, flat terrains, valleys, rocky, like pebbly, sandy. I'm trying to think of like other types of terrains. So anytime you see a truck driver, don't just think like, oh, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I could do that any day. No, that's even if they didn't go to college, and some of them still went to college and they were like, I still want to do that. Even if they didn't go to college, they still had to do some extra special training and classes and get extra special certification in order to do this. People need income to buy the goods and services they need and want. And we talked about the difference between the two. If you want a job that has a high income, work on your skills and abilities. Get the education you need to do the job. So if the job requires you to have a college education, get the education. If it requires you to have extra training and certification, get the extra training and certification in order to get the income that job requires, or that job, in order to get the income that job will offer based off of the requirements. Sometimes staying with the same company or in the same job helps you earn more money. So that means the longer you stay with the company, or yes, the longer you stay with the company and get more training, more certification, more education, and you just work your way up through the company, it will help increase your income. So say you started working at a grocery store when you were 16. And that's a common thing, like teenagers do. And maybe they start working as a stalker. Those are like the people who they get the boxes off the semi trucks, and boxes of green beans and boxes of I went grocery shopping. I'm trying to think of what I bought. Boxes of green beans and boxes of cereal, things like that. They get all those off the truck. They put them in the warehouse. And then the manager says, Bobby Joe, Pally Benjamin. Yes, the dog is now a stock boy. I need you to go stock the shelves. So they go, they get the box of green beans, they get the box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and they go and they start stocking the shelves. And then they're like, I don't want to stock shelves anymore. That's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. I don't want to just like keep like, well, oh, I want to do something else. Okay, well, let's go do something else. Go get some more training. They don't want to leave the grocery store. They like all their friends at the grocery store yet. They're still in high school. They like all that. Okay, go get some more training. They get the training and they become a bagger. That means they get to talk to everyone who's checking out. They get to put the stuff in the bags. That means they get to see what everyone's buying. Ooh, they bought ice cream. Oh, they got a candy bar. Oh, they got a birthday cake. They get to see everything. And they get to talk to people. They get to talk to all their friends up at the grocery store. And they do that for a while. They're like, I don't want to do this anymore because after I'm done bagging, sometimes the manager says, hey, Pally Benjamin, go get all the buggies. Bring the buggies back in. We need more buggies. I don't want to do that. But now I'm going to college and this is really good money for me while I'm in college. So I'm going to stay here at this job and I'm going to get some more training and I'm going to be a checker. So they get the training and they start checking people out. Ooh, rice is on sale today. All right. I'm going to buy some rice for my family. Hopefully mom's going to make us something good with this rice. Oh, turkey's on sale. I'm going to make myself a turkey sandwich when I get home. I'm going to buy some turkey and make myself a turkey sandwich. And they do that. Ooh, ooh. And then we get tired of doing that. It's hot up here. I do a lot of work. I'm still in college. But this kid, he's realized every time he goes and he went from being a stalker, and then he changed jobs. He got a little more training and he became a bagger. Every time he got a little more training and he got a little more, he went to another job within the grocery store, his pay increased, his income increased. Because they saw him working, he saw him getting the training. And he didn't just leave because like, I don't want to do this. I'm out. Peace out, man. I'm out. No, they saw him working hard. And so the more he worked, the more time he put in, the more training he put in, the more his pay increased and the more jobs he was able to do. And as this continued, and maybe he was in college while he was doing this. Maybe he wasn't in college, but he was doing another certification to do something else he wanted to do. Maybe he went to EMT school to become an EMT or firefighter school, or he was doing something else to do another dream that he wanted to do, or truck driver school. But while he was doing all that, he was still working at the grocery store, but he was still increasing his pay. And that's what it means. So sometimes staying within the same company or in the same job helps you earn more money. Sorry. So here is a question. Person A has a college degree. Person B has a high school diploma. Which person will more likely earn a higher income? A, person A, B, person B, or C, not enough information because the level of education doesn't usually affect income. Select your answer. Stop and think. What are some things you could do to earn an income? So by the time you get this Nearpod, the images and the gift one will be gone. either you can type your answer in, or you can click on the recording or the microphone. Those are going to be your only two options. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can take the image and the GIF one away. Fingers crossed. But if I can't, either type, record your answer, or do a video recording of your answer or an audio recording of your answer. So what can you do to earn an income? When people earn income, they have choices. There are many ways people can choose to use the money they earn. Some of these ways include they can spend their money to use income to buy goods and services. For example, you can spend your allowance on slime or candy. You can save your income to keep or set aside the income for the future. So here's an example. You can save your allowance to buy a video game. So maybe there's a video game you really, really want, but your family says, okay, you can have this video game, but the last time we bought it for you, you didn't take good care of it. So if you want this video game, you have to save the money. So we give you do these chores every week, and we give you some money because you do these chores. So if you want this video game, you have to save the money that we give you. And that is a way that you could buy that video game that you want. Or the last way is share, to give away income to help other people. Here's an example of what that means. You can share your allowance by donating it to someone who needs food. So once again, you're given an allowance. So let's say your family says, if you do and they give you a list of chores, a list of things you need to do to help your family out in the house. Maybe it is you need to make sure your pet has its food and water every day. And you need to make sure your pet is walked multiple times throughout the day so your pet doesn't have an accident inside the house. And if your pet accidentally does have an accident, it's your job to clean it up. And then you need to, every Saturday, when your family's out in the yard, like cleaning up the yard, maybe it's like trimming the bushes or mowing the lawn, it is your job to sweep up the grass clippings or to pick up any of the bush trimmings. Or maybe it is one of your jobs is to take the trash cans to the road and then bring the trash cans and the recycling bin back. So, and if you do all of these chores, you are given what is called an allowance, which is like money for doing the chores. And so with the share, you've saved some money, and maybe you didn't save it. Maybe you just got your allowance that day and you see someone who is in need or who has a need versus a want. And you're like, I just got $10 and my friend really needs, think about that story we read in ELA, those shoes, the need versus the want. Where at the very end, I forgot the kid's name. He really needed new shoes. And I cannot remember their names now. And the other kid, he wanted those shoes too, but they were too small, weren't they? And while we're talking about an allowance and an income, and in those shoes, they were actually shoes. But what did that boy do? He gave him those shoes that he really wanted, but the other boy really needed. And so with sharing an income or sharing an allowance, you have some money. Either it's money that you have just earned or money that you've saved, and you're giving it to someone who is in need. A personal money management choice you make during your life, personal money management choices you make during your life are really important. There's the sooner you learn good money habits, the better off you will be in the long run. You need to take personal responsibility for the choices you make. A budget is a plan for money managing your money. It compares how much you earn to how much you spend. A budget helps people make decisions about spending and saving their income. So on this slide, you're going to watch a short video. It's just over 2 minutes about budgets. So on this slide, you're going to look at the different costs and determine whether the items are in your budget. So for this one, we'll do it together. It gives you, let me grab my pen. It gives you your budget in this column. And so for this one, your budget is $70. And in this column, it tells you what the item is and how much it costs. So for this one, it's rollerblades. So your budget is $70. The cost is $50. Well, if we do some math, 70 minus 50, 0 minus 0, 0 is our hero. 0. 7 minus 5 is 2. So could we buy those rollerblades? Yes. So is it in our budget? We can drag our check mark over to yes, because we're going to have some money left over. So do the same thing for the rest of these. Next slide. Expenses. To save money, you should spend less than you make. Expenses are anything you spend money on. It is a good idea to keep all of your receipts. Write down everything you buy. This helps you keep track of every dollar you spend. So you're going to do a time to climb. Obviously, it's not going to be as fun because you're all by yourself. Let's see. I'm going to quickly pick one for us. What do y'all want to do? We'll do happy holidays. Continue. All right. Obviously, you're going to do it on your own, but it'll be fun. And then answer the question. Devon is describing his labor and income. Which statement could be a description of both labor and income for Devon? Read the answer choices and select the right one. And that is your social studies lesson for today. Sorry, I had a brain hiccup for a second there. All right. Don't forget, do this. Do the whole thing. You get 10 points on your lowest social studies grade. Love you all. Hasta la pasta. Bye.